Let's do this.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were live already.
Where are we at? What are we doing?
Today is October 4th. This is episode 37 of Talk Story.
Welcome, Bradley.
Thank you. I'm Brad Wills from ThankYouSurfing. We're here at First Surf Shop.
I'm Christian de la Iglesia.
Well, I didn't say we're in South Beach yet.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, they don't know that. We're in South Beach.
We're in
Miami.
South Beach. I'll vouch for him. We are.
Yeah. Keegan, is that true?
Yeah.
This is.
So
Yeah,
it's been third.
Sure enough.
Oh, we're gonna have a
Verified.
fourth. What, fifth?
Audience?
We're in South Beach.
Already not paying attention.
Lost the audience already. It's not a good
We've
sign.
just started.
All right, that was the intro. And did a good intro here, just like the last 36 of them.
And
Yeah, so we've been doing this 37 times in a row, which is pretty impressive, I think,
Wait a
considering
sec.
that no one cares except us.
I think those guys care. I just told you the other day there was a guy that came in and bought some stuff from us, and he was like, "Dude, I check you guys out. You know, I come home, and if I would have missed you, I'd kind of fire up a stogie cigar." And kind of listen to you guys and chime along. And I was like, dude, thanks so much. I high-fived him. He bought some wax and he took off. And I was just like,
I think it's
kind of
more
cool.
that I just don't believe that people actually watch it.
Right. I mean, it still baffles me since like the first time that we were surfing up in Palm Beach earlier this year, and so a couple people, like that one kid, saw us in the water and goes, "You guys are from ThankYouSurfing." I'm like, "You watch that kind of crap?"
Does your parents know you watch that?
But yeah, we've been doing this.
Daily.
You do?
Yeah, that watch ThankYouSurfing.
Really?
Because when I'm not doing water polo or swimming, I'm paddling. So I'll paddle and I'll run into people and they'll be like, "Hey, wait a tick.
It's
You're
Keegan the
from
Intern."
ThankYouSurfing.
Keegan
Keegan
the
the Intern.
Yes. Yeah, so it
And I'll
does
be
happen.
like, "You're famous."
I mean, I feel like we got a little Howard
name.
Stern-esque kind of thing going on with Keegan the Intern. Like we got to start having him do like random weird things.
Yeah.
Like Baba Booey-esque
Right,
things.
right.
I'll pop up
Stuttering
in the
John
background,
type thing.
Right, like this is where we come back into our editing thing and kind of have him like go out in the streets and start asking people questions.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, it's Keegan the Intern. Let's go ahead and turn to Keegan. Let's turn to Keegan the Intern on the streets, talking to people.
On the late night show, Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
The door
guy.
guy.
That
The
guy.
door guy. The
Right,
guy.
you're our door guy.
Yeah.
We're kind of like just, you know what, we'll send him to all the bars and we'll have him.
I don't know how appropriate this is.
It's really
I
not,
was
but that's what
gonna
makes
say.
for great TV. We'll have him go to the bars and we'll have him ask for a drink. We'll go ahead and we'll make it undercover.
Wait a minute.
And then we'll
What?
see whether or not he gets served or not.
Is this a sting
I
operation?
feel
we're
like
doing?
you could be getting
And-
people into
and-
trouble.
We could be putting on an 80s mustache that looks like Chris's mustache on me, so they won't know how old I am.
They might think it's me.
It's all part of
They'll
it's all
be
part of
like-
the plan.
They'll be like, wait a tick, you're
I know where
Christian
this is
de la
going.
Iglesia from Surf Shop. Here's a beer. And I'll be like, thanks.
So you need the mustache.
I don't know
we
if I
get you
would
a
say
boat.
thanks, but
gotta
we'll
work
work
on
on that.
Yeah, we'll work on it. Maybe a little later.
JK, Mom, I'm not sending him to a beer. I mean, to a bar
Don't worry, Mom.
to get beer. Oh, God. Instantly, his mom's going to walk in and just punch me in the face right now. I know it is.
We have Child Protective Services here. I didn't mean none of this is true. We're only kidding.
It's okay,
And
we're
Keegan-
fine
It's
because no
all a
one's watching.
dream. We're not seeing any of it.
All right. Well, you know.
Weekly happenings. We may all get arrested for endangering the welfare of a child.
But then
But
at least we'll know.
But at
that
least-
someone was paying attention.
Right.
someone was paying attention.
We
Great.
have
I'm glad the
viewers.
cops are listening. Epic.
What other weekly happenings that we got going on? Oh, you had something earlier when we walked in. What do you got going on your phone?
Well, Surfline had a new video game, and it's like the best thing in the world. I highly suggest you play it.
Is it free?
If you have time, it is free.
Full free?
It is fun, and it will take hours and hours of your time away from you.
Sounds like fantasy football.
Yeah. Things I won't be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or will
right.
I?
May I suggest a high scoreboard somewhere in the shop for everyone that works here and comes in and sits around?
Beautiful thing is maybe we can kind of create some sort of contest. Have you come in here, airplay it onto our Apple TV so like we can watch it.
Wow.
Yeah, we can get
the
in there.
cool
fancy.
part about this game is that after every wave, it'll score you. So you'll get like points from America. I want to say.
Oh, the judging panel.
Yeah, Portugal,
what-
Brazil.
What if we introduce said competition like
And then you get
at
an
an event,
overall
if not maybe
WSL
tomorrow,
score.
where
And
we
we can-
have like everybody just have competitions. winner gets.
This is what happens when you give this guy ideas.
Oh.
Keegan,
If you give me ideas.
don't feed him ideas.
No, especially not late at night because we'll be here a long time.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, okay.
I'll throw some merch at it, mug for the winner,
There you
something.
go.
Yeah.
I'll throw something at it.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Thank you, surfing video game contest.
I mean, it's flat here a lot.
Leave a comment if you like on Instagram.
I was really good
too.
at Kelly Slater Pro Surfing.
I killed it.
I wore what was it? Tom Kern's wave that one in Japan.
Yes.
It wouldn't play anymore because I
The
burned
Misto
it
Reef?
through the DVD.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. At the time that came out, I was running the Quicksilver store in Orlando. And since Kelly was a Quicksilver rider, we had a full little video game right in the middle of the store, and we'd have competitions all the time.
We need to set one of those up.
Right. How awesome is the general manager's just sitting there for hours? Shh, yeah. Take a break? Cool. Someone covering you? Yeah, whatever.
Quicksilver is looking at his 401k currently. Like, well, let's backtrack some of those hours out of this pay. Just kidding, quick.
JK. So that video game. Yeah, I think we might be able to do something
sounds
with it.
kinda fun.
Yes, it is very fun.
You dropped something else in the middle of that.
As in, like, tomorrow?
Well, actually, before we get to that,
Okay.
there's a reason that this gentleman is looking so dapper today.
Oh.
I
I mean, I don't do this every day.
I-
I take my surfing seriously.
very
So I wear
serious. He's
serious
all
clothing.
pressed and clean,
he's going
hair
pro,
cut, mustache all combed out.
And waxed a little bit. I got a little
Waxed?
wax. Yeah.
Wow, I
I
didn't know you
notice a
could
little
even do
shine
that.
on there.
It's impressive. If you guys can't
That's
get it,
not, it's not the sour cream I was just eating on those
it can't
nachos.
be the nacho grease.
I mean, it could be.
Oh, it's so good.
Don't let away all of our secrets. Makeup. You mean nachos? So I'm gonna blow up your spot a little bit.
Okay.
You received an award tonight.
I did.
This is really awesome for the surf community. I think it's really cool when us surfer degenerate types,
Right.
As general stereotypes.
As we're trying to break out of that stereotype.
Yeah, it's cool as hell.
Yes,
that
thank you.
Get what was it? The Hispanic business.
It's Hispanic Heritage Award for Hispanic business owners.
Super
And
cool.
I got nominated with about, I think, 6 other people for the city of Miami Beach. And it was super cool in recognition of those of us that are Latin or Hispanic. And
they know
are
you're
doing
Inca,
things.
though?
Oh.
They might be a
Is
little
that a disqualifier?
I don't know. I mean, it might be another box.
They like kind of one up.
You already got it, right?
Yeah, I'm in touch with aliens. I mean, come on, seriously. No, I'm not. Or
That's a
am
whole
I?
other episode.
Or am I?
New topic.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. There was a bunch of city officials and crew there, and it's nice to get recognized.
All right, so let me ask you, what were the other business owner businesses?
We had Miami Beach Bicycle on 5th Street.
Oh, I know them. Yeah, they're cool.
There was Arturo, and some would know this. Coach Art. He is the coach over at St. Patrick's Catholic School on 41st.
Who's he coach?
Basketball. Who else was there?
I might know him from Mass. That's a nice church.
Yeah, it's a good church.
Really beautiful
It's a
church.
church I go to. When my mom forces me to.
Fun fact. Fun fact. If you're a big Andrea Bocelli fan, he also is a parishioner at St. Patrick's.
Oh, is he?
And often will sing Ave Maria for Easter Sunday Mass.
I think I probably heard that before. That
Pretty
might be
awesome.
One of the 2 times I go to church. Sorry, Mom.
Listen, if you got God in your heart, you're good to go.
Listen, I got God
I'm not a priest or
listen,
anything.
I got God all up in my name. Christian de la Iglesia. Christian of the church. It doesn't get more godly. Or does it? Could
like
get.
a cover.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta
Yeah.
use that with my mom. She's gonna be so happy about this.
It's just like, oh, you're a friend of the good.
Yeah,
that's good
yeah,
Christian.
yeah,
Good, good old Christian boy.
And then Caleb too. I mean, forget
They're
it.
killing it.
Killing the Bible game right now.
Are we changing the name of the show from Talk Story to?
Hey,
Religious
there's
hour?
a built-in audience for Christian media. If we change the subject in the iTunes to
Oh.
Christian podcast, boom, people just listen to it.
Just a little God bless at the beginning, a little
It's
God
kinda
bless at the
cheap,
end.
yeah.
I mean, we pretty much do that anyway.
Right. I mean, I'm taking our sacraments every once in a while.
Water, wine.
New marketing scheme.
Yeah, I like it. I dig it. Does that mean we have to curse less?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I mean, I
JC
gotta-
heard that.
I had a direct line at one point, and I'm pretty sure we're cool on all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
You rock line too?
Yeah, the big guy. Couple times.
Really, guy? Do we really know?
What's that?
I'm just kidding. Let's move on.
Yeah, it seemed like a very male presence in that moment. I don't know why. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, we can really kind of get into this whole religious
Yeah.
thing and like waste the whole show. Not waste it.
Waste.
It'd be good.
I mean,
Be a
come
great
on.
Wasted.
Wow, nice, Keegan. All right, yeah.
Did.
Producer and
Oh, this is like rolling right into the next topic. So tomorrow you're having a party and we're having a confessional.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's like this
Wait,
stuff happens
no,
naturally.
Not that
What
kind
is
of
that?
confessional. Not
Well,
that kind of confessional.
Or
mean-
is it? I mean, it's kind of. I mean, it's
Well,
like.
I mean,
we're asking people in the last 10 years of first being around. Throw us a confessional. What are some of the things that you remember about first in regards to whether it's the people that worked here or the times that you had or something that reminds you about the store or the moments that you've had while the store's been around?
I can't wait to see what comes out of that because I can imagine the beginning towards the end of the evening with the
Right.
party going on.
Right.
The confessions are going to get better.
Right.
They're gonna
Yeah.
get-
More candid, I would say.
better.
Oh, yeah. And
Definitely more
louder.
candid.
And weird.
And louder.
Right.
Yeah, probably more sweaty too.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like people coming in and out. More.
Right.
Yeah. it's gonna be- I can't wait.
It'll be
It's
more
like
natural.
those wedding photo booths where like you watch the beginning and it's like, oh yeah, like
Everyone's
all like
still
the
proper,
wedding party
jackets are
went
still
in,
on.
yeah. And then towards the end, it's
Someone
just
ties around the head.
like, ties around the head. You know it's a good party when your ties around your head.
Party like you're in Fort Lauderdale, you know? That's what I say.
Party like you're in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, I feel like growing up down here, I mean, we're a little pompous and snobby about the party scene in South Beach. And you'd go up to Fort Lauderdale and everyone was just having a good time, like a really good, honest good time. And I felt like it was like wedding fun, you know? Like everyone goes to a wedding and your just inhibitions are gone, you're taking your shoes off and people
Yeah,
are
yeah,
just
the
sweating
dancing with
and,
no shoes
and
on.
having a great time and it's really bad dancing but it, you know, it was wedding music.
Yeah.
I feel like people, well, not anymore, because I mean, I'm just saying when I grew up, I felt like people in Fort Lauderdale.
So
party like
tomorrow
they were in a wedding.
here,
Yes, party like
party
you're in
like it's Fort Lauderdale.
Come on over.
And if you're in Fort Lauderdale, come down.
Come down, bring that
some
vibe.
Fort Lauderdale party.
If you have your tie on your
to South
forehead,
Beach.
bring it.
Come
if
on
you have
down
extras-
to First Street Surf Shop.
Look at that. I mean, it could almost, it's a full-on voiceover.
It's like, you know, the
Mark
commercial for
that so we
Golden
can
Corral. Come
cut
on
it out.
down to Golden Corral. Except for First Street Surf Shop.
We're just all getting off the rails here, aren't we?
So
Keegan.
tomorrow,
Yeah,
6
so
o'clock.
that's another happening.
Yeah, Lanso.
So we got our 10-year anniversary party going on tomorrow here at the shop. Starts around 6-ish. We've got Lanso of Culture Shock music that's going to be throwing down some tunes from about 7 to 9. We have our team over here at South Point Tavern, our neighbors next door, that is providing the tasty beverages, as
And-
well as our crew
Oh, check this out.
at Apple Playa. Apple Playa rum, so smooth you don't even need to mix it with anything else. You can go ahead and drink it nice and neat. Or, since you're in Miami, throw a little cube on there. I'm gonna leave those sucker right there for you. And yeah, they're supplying us with some good old rum and some good old times tomorrow. Starts around 6-ish.
Party like you're in Fort Lauderdale. Can't wait. It's gonna be fun. I like when the whole kind of block shows up here.
Yeah.
Even when we do it and they don't know that we're doing it,
Right.
they all kind of like, oh my god, there's all these people here. It's like, what's going
My
on?
part of me was just like, do I even promote it? I feel like, just there's waves, you know.
Ratings and report and forecast.
Yeah, let's do
Segway
it.
King.
Let's do this.
Report has been waves. We've had waves for days. Days and days.
Ankle to
And-
waist high.
Yeah, like,
Occasionally,
yeah,
if
barreling.
you're lucky.
I saw a couple barrels yesterday.
I almost got.
That's insane.
I almost got barreled yesterday.
It looked fun this morning.
I almost got barreled
It
yesterday.
was really fun this morning. And
Really?
there was no, when I was out
was
there,
nobody out.
there was
Yeah.
not a single other person in the water.
We'll be segueing into that reason.
So the
But,
report,
yeah.
tons of wind. It's the time of year for it, so lots of swell. Up coast, just a ridiculous run of swell.
Yeah, I mean Leslie
Yeah,
or Leslie
it's just sitting there spinning.
Can I ask you
throwing
a
out
question?
swell. Yes, sir.
Dubbo,
Uh-huh.
your boy.
Chicky
Chicky Dubbo.
Domain.
I don't
from
understand
Uh-huh.
in his forecasting when he's like Leslie, not Leslie. You seen that in the story? It's just like Hurricane Leslie, not Leslie. I've been like, is there a lyric? Am I missing something? I wasn't sure if anyone else knew what he was maybe talking about.
I didn't see that post in particular.
No,
but
it was every post that he had about Leslie. He writes Leslie, not Leslie.
Oh, that was because
like-
she was named, unnamed, and then to be named. So
Got it.
it's like
thing.
remember the last episode when we were talking about how storms
got
sometimes
no
like
identity now.
go summertime to wintertime, and it's like they go through the transition as they go northward.
Right.
That's what happened with that storm. So
There's a
Right,
winter
so
swell during the K's.
it was
I want it
tropical,
named
they went-
after me.
So it's
Whoever
tropical
does
went
that.
extra tropical.
That'd be cool.
Right.
Like the
Got it.
Keegan swell.
we can get you. Yeah, we can. I mean,
Think they throw Keegan
Do
in
you know
there
the guy
in
that
mix?
names those?
no.
We'll find him though. We'll
How
find
do they-
him and we'll give
how
him
do they
his-
Hey,
figure out
if
those
you're
names?
watching and you're the guy
Noah.
that names those stores, call us. Or
Yeah,
storms.
like
Call
send
us.
me, DM me, please.
Noah does it. They do retire names. So
Right.
like Andrew will never be named again.
Right.
So if you're like born next year and you're Andrew and you're really hoping for the Andrew swell, not in the Atlantic, my
Sorry.
friend. You can go to the Pacific Ocean and maybe they'll get an Andrew, or
Will they?
you could like move to Japan and somehow get them to name Pacific typhoons
Probably
Andrew
not.
instead of like Iniki or something like that. Well, that was Hawaii. That
Yeah,
year,
it was
Iniki.
Hawaii.
Anyway, wow, that's weird that we both knew that. It's like
I
you
was,
could- you
and
could
I
name
feel
a-
like that was, and I feel like that was like the 90s, late 90s.
97.
Right.
I want to say 97.
Late 90s.
How do I know a hurricane that hit an island 6,000 miles away from me
Like
in
20 years
1997?
ago.
Yeah, and I have like
21 years
complete
ago.
recall of it. It's super weird.
Nerds.
So the report's good. Yeah, lots of waves, more waves coming. Forecast. Yeah.
How long do we have this run of wind and waves?
I can't see the end of it really.
Really?
Yeah.
What's what's producing it? Are we on a pressure gradient kind of thing?
Yeah, it's
or-
a typical kind of change of season thing.
Good.
And we see it every time.
Yeah, I mean,
October,
typically
November.
October, November comes. We got those northeast winds that
Blustery.
kick for a while.
Yeah.
I remember the last couple years we had it from anywhere like 60 to 75% of the month.
Yeah, crazy. And, you know, some tides suck. Some tides are better. Sometimes the wind kicks up, even at a bad tide.
Seems
makes
a little
good
more
waves.
east than northeast in this.
Yeah, so I was going to say, the beginning of the swell almost felt more like an east-southeast, like
Right.
Saturday, Sunday. And
Right.
then
And it shifted on
it
Monday
shifted.
or so.
That's, again, like this sort of, I don't know if it's summer, winter. I'm kind of in transition
Right,
period.
Right. 'Cause it's funny, as soon as it has that little shift in northeast, you can feel a little bit cooler. Like all of a sudden it's like
Well,
less humid.
We did have
Somewhat.
the
That's
first.
impossible. It was
we
just
did,
so hot
no,
today.
Actually,
God.
No, actually, you're absolutely right. And Giles mentioned that to me yesterday. He's like, feels like winter.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, the 87
Right.
degree.
It was a
How bad is that? Then we go from 97 to 89.
The dew points
and all of a sudden you're
dropped.
just like,
Dew
man,
point
it's
dropped.
cold out there.
We had a cold front
It
come
was
through.
a chilly 83. I'm like, well, I need a top, and I look at the clock and at 83. I'm like, all right, no.
Backdoor
no
cold
top,
front.
No
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
We
Can't
have
do
a
it
cold
yet.
front.
People
and
in the
it did
northeast are
dry
like,
out.
you guys are idiots.
So that was it. First cold front of the year, really.
And round of swell from Leslie, not Leslie, up coast. How long do you think that's going to cruise around for? It seems like it's going to start drifting north now.
It's just
The
sitting there
storm?
and spinning
Yeah,
still,
it's
though.
crazy.
So I love those.
How's winds conditions up there?
Still onshore-ish.
Right.
Except for the mid-Atlantic. I saw, who was it? Eduardo.
Opresa.
Yeah, homeboy
I
went
saw
up.
those pictures. Where was he at?
Mid-Atlantic.
Mid-Atlantic.
I'm guessing OBX based on what I saw. Could have been a couple other spots, but looked like he had some dune elevation looking down on the pictures. Looked like OBX style.
Well,
Nice.
I hope he's there. Oh man, I wish I could join him.
Well,
Yes,
I do
Keegan the
have,
intern.
I do have a say on that one. Me and my buddy were sitting in class bored as crap yesterday.
Sounds about
and
right.
We
Whoa,
were.
whoa, whoa! What class? Why can't you find it interesting?
It was technology, and we're like 2 chapters ahead. So
Ooh, check
Yes.
you out.
yeah.
Whips out
So-
Surfline game.
Yeah,
Listen,
that-
teach. I'm 2
that
chapters
too.
ahead, and when you guys catch up, let me know.
That too.
I'm going to get shacked
And then,
otherwise.
So we were looking at this forecast, and apparently, on the 11th, the wind is
The 11th.
supposed to switch offshore for us.
A week from now.
Yes, a week from now.
Is this on the Surfline game or for real?
No, this is for real.
Okay.
Like,
I didn't even know
I
anything.
saw-
Getting confused now.
Seriously, it's like
and then
AI.
I was looking on the forecast and like, there could be potential swell for that day. Like, we might get waves.
7 days out is way too far out for us to use. So,
I mean, his elbow is itching. Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
I think it could be true.
I would like to believe you, Keegan.
We'll
Mark
put
it
money on
7
that.
days from now. What are that's that makes it what the 11th?
Gamble the closest day who gets to the winter swell.
In case
I
anyone wants to
know-
Tom Brady threw to my guy Jay White. I got a touchdown on my fantasy football. Thank you very much.
right, we're gonna have to put this into weekly
Juan's
apps.
genius team crushing you.
You're right,
That
Keegs. I think you're right. What you're talking about is a storm that is forecast to develop in that little bite in the
Yes.
in the nook that we like. Just like, oh my gosh, what was that storm that just totally destroyed the Carolinas?
Florence?
Yes. Florence did a similar kind of thing in the same area, not a
Yes.
similar track at all.
Right, right,
but
right.
it's supposed to sit in that little nook. It's too long.
It's
from
too
now
far away,
to
but-
say. But it's nice to hope for.
Yeah.
Something to look at. In the meantime,
something to look forward to, guys.
just keep surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the report and forecast.
Okay. Let's jump into some topics. What do we got going on locally?
Yeah, so in addition to the waves that we've had, we have a new thing in South Florida.
It's no bueno.
At least this
A
year.
topic that I brought up a while back.
Yeah, so Keegan's been talking about this because Keegan is a...
Surf
Be
addict.
nice.
I was trying to look for the best adjective here, but like very conscientious environmentalist surfer.
Yeah. I don't know how that came to be either.
I don't know either.
I just saw it. I watched
Like I
like
throw plastic out in the water all the time. no, he
no,
doesn't.
I picked that stuff.
Good,
up.
attaboy.
But yeah, no, I mean I just looked. I've been tracking it, and I could tell it was eventually gonna come down here, but it was just a matter of time when, and if we were able to like somehow like get some sort of a storm to like mix it up, and maybe it would have gone away before it got here, but it didn't, and so now we're stuck with it until we get another storm to take it out of our system.
Show's over. Let's
Okay,
go.
let's go home. Yeah, I mean, I don't really disagree with any of that.
Right.
We never said what it is though. It's red tide.
Okay, so
It's algae blooms.
yeah, I wish I had all the scientific information in front of me, but there's a particular type of seaweed that you can look it up right now. I don't even really know what to tell
Yeah,
you
guys.
as the best resource, but
There is a brain behind this hair.
that's what I say.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't even.
Dinoflagellates.
that's,
Discoloration of seawater caused by a bloom of toxic dinoflagellates.
Someone's flashing.
right. So the thing is that stuff is naturally occurring. It normally is, and to my understanding, found like at depth on the shelf in the Gulf Coast.
Right.
So the Gulf Coast tends to see these things a little bit more. You get a little bit of wind. It pushes it shoreward pretty much annually around this time of year.
Right. And it's a natural occurrence.
This is the thing that I think everyone kind of misses.
Right.
They're like, red tide, we're all going to die.
Right.
And it's more like, no, red tide is probably
happens.
there like
Right.
all the time
Right.
in very low levels.
Right.
It's just a certain type of algae, and there's all kinds of algae that's in the ocean.
Right. Now, does it grow exponentially because of human influences?
Yes.
Are you leading me somewhere?
Yes.
Fish on, fish on. Yeah, so much like a lot of the environmental issues that we find ourselves in, they are either brought on or exacerbated by, us humans. And in the case of red tide, it seems like we are somehow aiding its growth and distribution. And there's a current that comes around the south tip of Florida that's called the loop current. And if you guys remember, like during, oh my gosh, Deepwater Horizon, that awful tragedy that we had in the Gulf
Yep.
with all the oil, the big thing that everybody was concerned about on East Coast beaches in terms of tourism and the impacts of oil was the oil being, and all the stuff they threw on the oil to disperse it,
Right. Was
being
it-
picked up by the
by
loop
the-
current,
right.
and moved around the southern tip of Florida, around the Keys, getting picked up by the Gulf Stream, and moved northward and kind of spreading. And so this is more or less, I guess, the hypothesis of scientists currently is that this is where the stuff has come from.
Right. It moved up, and we heard earlier this week or last week that it hit Jupiter and the
Trying to
Juneau
find the
beaches,
video.
and it was pretty prevalent up there, and it kind of got stuck there. But it seems like it had kind of made its way down this way and drifted down when the winds had shifted from the east-southeast to more of a northeast wind.
That's a possibility. Also, the Gulf Stream tends to be a little bit closer to the Palm Beaches this time of year.
Right. Well, and that's why it went there, and then at that point, why we're seeing it more down here. You don't think it's a lot of that has to do with the northeast winds?
Yeah, that could be partially. It also could be that there's higher concentrations of it being picked up in say the Gulf Stream or whatever. And so if there was like, I'm just going to use like ridiculous terms here, like 1 part per million a week ago, now there's 10 parts per million. It wasn't enough to show up here at 1 part per million, but at 10 parts per million, it's enough to kind of be present, at least in a noticeable
Well, nonetheless,
form.
it has the local officials haven't really designated this area as a red tide beach yet. But it seems like people have
can
been feeling
certainly
some
sense
symptoms,
it.
right? People are feeling
can
some of the
sense it.
symptoms.
It's not-
and
it's
I know
like-
they're continuing to do some tests and whatnot so that they can actually formally say it. I know you don't want to put misinformation out there. You don't want to create hysteria because people get hysterical about stuff when they don't know about it.
That's true.
Can potentially it get worse? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I saw some really.
It might get better with the tide, like
Just like
tonight
Keegan
was
said,
high tide,
yeah.
right? This morning I didn't
gambling
feel
game.
anything.
Right,
I
that
was
was
in the
alcohol.
water this morning.
It could go
Didn't feel
south
anything.
or it could go right our way and help us out. But we need to see how this turns out.
That's true.
I feel like
You just wrapped up the
I
topic.
feel like no.
I was like, okay,
and we're
I
done.
feel like I had like a Bradley moment where I turned to Bradley for a second. I'm like, wait a second, I'm turning into Bradley.
you guys' hair is due. Look.
Yeah, it's in there.
Well, I want dreads, but my mom disagrees.
We'll talk to Lance tomorrow about
That's a different topic. You get like a little red tie thing going in your dreads.
I just thought about that. That's not a good idea.
Caleb just thought about it with his beard. And he's like, damn.
I don't know about the red tie, but I've been picking.
I mean, like a seaweed,
It
yeah.
blends in too. You don't see it, and then a week later you're like, what?
Or like the
Some little
mullet fish
crabs in
that
there
are
just
jumping
like-
around in the water. It's like a mullet fish jumps past him and he thinks it's gone, but it's like secretly stuck in his beard for a week. That would
the
suck.
ye old mullet beard.
Right.
I feel like that was the style back here in the day. Those Florida
It still
crackers.
is the style, guys. I mean, like, come on.
Yes. This is Amish
It's still
looking.
the style.
We are going way off the rails
Way
today.
off. We're from red tides to Amish people.
Well, you brought up the Amish thing.
I
I,
know.
just brought up mullet beard, which is completely
Great
reasonable.
thing about Amish people is you can make fun of them on a podcast because they can't listen to you.
I didn't say that.
Oh, man.
That was
But is it one of those things where they can listen to it? They're just not allowed to press the buttons.
There he goes. Very down.
Maybe.
Yeah, that happens with some of my Jewish friends. They won't turn the light on, but they're cool with the light being on.
It's true.
It's so
We
funny.
turn on for him.
Yeah, and it feels like me during Lent. I should just be like, look, I didn't eat meat on Friday because I wrapped that burger in a bun.
Or like,
You can't see the meat, so I didn't eat it.
Out of sight, out of mind?
Yeah, it's kind of like the light thing.
Okay.
or like
Anyway.
at Lolo's.
So bringing it back
they
to the red
mix-
tide.
Yeah.
Because some of the natural questions that people were having is, what do we do about it? What can be done? Like this and that. Like everyone wants a quick result. Let's throw a blanket. Let's throw
I'm
some
glad you said that.
degreaser on
Yeah.
there. Let's go ahead and just clean it all up and boom, move on to the
I
next
just
topic.
throw fish nets in the water and pick it up.
Pull it out.
Yeah.
And what are we gonna do about it?
Well,
Oh man, this is such a complex issue. Like we kind of noted before, it is a naturally occurring phenomenon. Like to have quote unquote red tide, and it's known as such because at extremely high levels, it's visible as a red
Right.
discoloration in the
Like a
water.
brownish, dark rust.
So, I mean, there's respiratory issues with it. It kind of stings, kind of stuff. But I don't know of anybody croaking from it, kind of thing,
Yeah.
or having serious issues if you're a normally healthy person. So, I don't
honestly, it's like the flooding. Like, hold on, I take AP World History, so
bring it.
mind you on this.
So I've got.
So it's
some
like the
idea on
flooding
red tide.
issue in the Nile. So it's a naturally occurring thing.
That's true.
Sure, it's a problem. You can't really solve. There's no really way to get around it. But it just happens, and eventually it'll go away, or it'll ruin all your crops. So
So
In this situation, crops being business.
yes, crops. being
I think more than anything else, because we're such a tourist-driven town, that is probably where a good majority of the concern's coming from, considering that season's right around the corner from here.
you know something, I would
Well-
really like that to be the case. I think that most people are just freakazoids and just love to get in an uproar.
It's true.
You know, I really wish that they were like, oh my gosh, this is going to affect our business. Go buy something from that business. Like, that's how you can help them.
Right.
Like, screaming about a red tide on Facebook doesn't really help nobody.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry to be so cynical about it.
But aside that, there was a
really.
couple suggestions that I had kind of pushed to some city folk earlier this evening while receiving said awards.
City folk being
Commissioners.
our locally elected
Our
officials.
local elected officials. And really, it was something that I think in general we should kind of push more towards, and that's kind of our water quality testing. And just kind of instead of it just testing with Surfrider that we do here once a week, and the Department of Health does once a week.
Hold on. Just let me stop you. Just once a week we do this water quality testing.
Right.
You are doing water quality testing as a surf shop and a nonprofit organization coordinated between the two of you
Right.
without government help
Right.
for the benefit of the whole society.
Yes.
Let me just stop and say that one more time.
Right.
Okay.
So
Make sure everyone knows that.
to make this out of the complex text, he's doing this for his own goodwill to help other people so they can swim in safe waters.
Right. You are absolutely correct.
Without
And so
government
we are.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're looking to push, within our local government.
And they don't get any benefit.
Right.
He doesn't get any
No,
money from it.
no.
He just doesn't.
Well, it's just there's that.
The old right thing to do thing?
Right.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So
It's pushing it to city officials and seeing that they put some funding and money towards being able to go ahead and get these tests every single day. So that we can kind of have our finger on the pulse, and we may not be able to fix red tide. Might have to just kind of wait that out. But if we're checking the waters, we can go ahead and find out what the
know.
sources of other problems that we might have water quality issues with. And it's just, at the end of the day, it's just good.
I mean, the fact of the matter is more information about this sort of stuff is never a bad idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Like any scientist will tell you, the larger your data sample is, the better off your information is going to be that you're trying to draw from it.
Exactly.
So if we
The
can
more
get more of that-
information you have, the better your data.
So if the Miami Beach government wants to get involved in this sort of stuff from a funding perspective, I think that's awesome.
Right.
And they definitely should.
We hope so. We know that there's a couple more tests that they're doing both up in the Hollover beaches north of here as well as here locally to either confirm or deny the levels of red tide that we have here. And so this next couple days will be interesting.
We'll be on it, kind of watching it, and we'll post. Let
Keep
you guys
posted.
know what's going on. But, like I surfed today. I surfed pretty much every day for the last week. And, I'm good.
Right.
No major mishaps.
Now, disclaimer, everyone's different.
Right, yeah.
Certain people feel it, certain people don't. A lot of the guards that we were talking to on the beach, they feel it while they're working.
Right, 'cause
once
those
they
guys
go
are 8 hours
and
on the beach.
on the east breeze and coming at them, and then once they go home, they don't feel it as much anymore as far as those symptoms.
Right.
So
But you can kind of smell it.
Yeah, there was a little something funky, and it could have been, and actually, this stuff, the decomposing seaweed may be causing,
Yeah.
A factor.
Well,
There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
so many
and there's
variables,
so many
right? I mean,
factors.
even the decomposing seaweed kind of creates a perfect atmosphere for bacteria to grow in as
Right.
well. So
But it's naturally occurring.
Right.
It's like this stuff's supposed to be happening, and it just so happens that I don't like the way the seaweed looks, or it smells funny, and you're like, yeah, bro, move off the beach then. I don't know what to tell you. Seaweed happens.
right.
It's
I mean,
once in
it
a
is
while.
it is a little bit heavier this year than it has been in prior years.
Sure. But
So
I haven't been alive for 150 years, so I don't know what the cycles are.
there you go.
I think that has a lot to do with it. Even the folks that lived through Hurricane Andrew, you guys still live here, and you would think after a catastrophe like that, people would be like, "Oh my gosh, this is a terrible area to live. What would we be thinking? Let's get the heck out of here." Meh. All that stuff is rebuilt even more than it was
Yeah, back then.
back then. So
That
we
was
have
20 some odd year, 30?
1990.
I for
Two,
sure,
92.
I for sure
26.
was not born for that.
I can vouch for you.
Good point. But
Keegan the intern, everyone.
Keegan the Intern was not born for Hurricane Andrew, in case you're all wondering. But yeah, it's stuff like that. So you just have to kind of I guess, take it in stride.
Right.
Don't be one of those people New Times that puts a headline out there that's so incredibly inflammatory that
Hate fear mongering.
it's just so unnecessary. And I know you got to sell clicks or whatever
Right.
you guys are selling,
Clickbait.
but come on,
Right.
You have a responsibility.
Right. And I think that's what people like yourself from ThankYouSurfing and us here at First Surf Shop
That's nice
and
of
a
you to
lot
say.
of and a lot of people within the community from Surfrider and everyone else that actually just has a genuine concern on making sure that the information it gets to people and that it's
Right.
correct is the right direction versus the fear mongering because it's a conversation starter. You know, you get that little coffee brew next to your name on Facebook or something like that when you start stuff. And I'm just like, how come I don't get a cool icon next to my name?
Wait,
I'm
what?
like, you know, on Facebook, like when people are like on the groups and stuff like that, like if someone creates a topic and they start talking about it and all of a sudden like it grows with a bunch of likes as well as comments, all of a sudden they get this like cool little coffee brew right next to their name.
I have
That's
You never
seen
noticed that?
It's
I
like
will.
being a verified
Right.
shit stirrer.
Right. Yeah.
I've
it
never-
totally is that.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to see this.
Yeah. I'll screenshot it to you and I'll send it.
Please do.
Yeah,
And
I
haven't
didn't
seen
need to
it
know
before.
all these coffee brewers of shitstorms.
Yet again, like Facebook, like I don't really use it, but whenever I scroll through it, you know, I don't.
Facebook is for
I've never
old
seen it.
people.
Yeah.
Do you never really use Facebook at all?
No, when I'm really bored, I mainly go on Instagram or
Breaking my heart
Snapchat.
right now. I really am old. I was fearing that day, you know? I had Peter Pan syndrome my whole life. Kind of thought, you know what? I can mix with the kids for a long time. And then all of a sudden it's just that one point that hits and all you're saying, you're like,
I've
You're
seen
doing
it.
it right though. You started a podcast
Well, in a way,
like
you
just
started. Well, first of all, you have a
right
surf
before
shop.
they blew up.
okay.
You have a surf shop, so like, you kind of are staying hip with the kids because you like,
Okay.
one of like the only 2 surf shops in town.
You know, I'm going to
Rest in
just
peace,
take
Liquid
this
Soup.
shirt off. This is just too corpo for me. You know what? Where's my tie? I need it around my head. Let's move on to happier stuff. I mean,
Yeah, so speaking
right-
of the surf shop,
we're coming into 10 years of First.
a freaking decade. All right, so I run a small business.
Yes.
I work with lots of small businesses. I know that most small businesses die, like, even before they're started.
Right.
If they get started, if they make it 2 years, like, they're way better than, like, 80 to 90% of everybody else out there in terms of success of businesses.
Right.
You own a surf shop.
Yes. And
Probably one of the hardest businesses to actually try to run
Right.
successfully.
especially in a place where there's
in-
hardly any waves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
this is-
in South Beach.
This is
I was gonna
like
say it's like
you guys need to
we
be
get
put under a
waves
microscope.
3 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like a science experiment that needs to be somehow studied.
Well, I mean, the benefit is, and really, I think there's no real huge formula to the success other than your immerse yourself in your community. You know, I mean, you give a little ownership to your community. They take it on and say, "This is my shop," and they recognize and they support and they do
But
stuff.
how do you do that? What do you mean?
Everything from doing the water quality testing station and letting people know that I'm not just saying I care about the environment
So
because I'm a
you-
surf shop.
Yeah.
I try to go ahead and actually do something about it. You know, we feel actions speak a lot
Right,
louder
and
than
you
words.
get involved with the community.
Right.
Like you did the surfing for autism
Yep.
over the summer, and you get involved and you let
But
people
that's
know.
just recently, but like way back,
Right.
you guys were doing other stuff like just the key bowl.
Right.
I think is
Right, so we
that
all-
is like
we-
such a cornerstone.
We hold people's keys here. We're like a valet. And a lot of it was just to make sure you didn't either get your key stolen on the beach or you'd lose it and stuff like that. It's just
Does
leave it
everybody?
here.
I don't think everybody knows exactly what we're talking about. So when you go surfing, you have to drive to the beach. You have your keys, and you can't take your keys in the ocean because they got now electronics in them and all this other stuff.
And they'll get stolen because people steal
But
stuff.
there's a few places you can hide them on your car, in your gas cap, in your wheel well, underneath your tire hitch. I mean, that's it. You got 3 spots, and so everyone knows them, and people feel very uncomfortable kind of doing that in certain
Yeah, 'cause
areas.
you're looking around to see if anyone's watching you as you're doing it.
And even if they aren't watching you, they're like, there's a surfer. There's 3 spots I can check, and their keys are definitely going to be in one of them. Instead, you guys figured out, yeah, there's a little key bowl.
Right. And it really was just out of creating a little service for our local community. And then, you realize that people not only just enjoy that, but then they come in, they'll get wax or a leash and
Sip of water to the best water fountain
Right.
in
And-
South Florida.
And at the end of the day, people attract people. So if you have a constant amount of people walking in and out for whatever reason, other people walking by are like, there's people walking in there. I want to see what's going on.
Another thing is like usually in like surf spots, in up north and places like that, you don't have such a accessibility to go to your surf shop. Like for example, if you're in Costa Rica you break a leash at a surf spot that's like bombing, and you don't want to go back out without a leash. You walk into the surf shop, you go, hey, can I buy a leash? And then you walk back out because the beach is like 5 steps that way.
Yeah.
That is an amazing thing about you guys' location, right? You guys.
Location, or you guys
Your
are the
location.
bomb.
Wow.
And especially because during a winter swell, this is where everyone wants to be.
Shh. We're not supposed to name breaks. We're in South Beach.
Oh,
Please come by. I'm on the other.
Wait, no. We're in the middle of Antarctica. We're not in South Beach. No more people.
So yeah, within the last 10 years, it's been a struggle a little bit, just because we started in 2008 when the economy had just tanked. So
It's a good time to start out.
Oh, it was fun. I remember specifically where we were back over on First Street between Washington and Collins, where Primo Pizza is at.
I know.
And I remember specifically like drilling like stuff into the wall and just hearing about it on the news that just the world is coming to the financial world's coming to an end. You're like, oh, my parents are gonna be so pissed that I took their money and did this. This is such a bad idea. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? And right,
Just keep putting these screws in the wall.
and that's the thing. It's like
no way to go about
right.
it.
You're like, I've got nothing else to do. I've got to go ahead and open this thing up, and we've got to make it work. Like failure is not an option.
You've invested so much time, and at the end you
Right.
want it to succeed.
And then at that point I kind of just took just the basics of what is necessary. You go to all the concierges. Hi, my name is Christian. Got a surf shop down in South Beach. This is where we're at. Here's a business card. Love for you to go ahead and send us some business. If you want to do surf lessons, surf rentals, here we are. We're the only surf shop in South Beach. Boom. And then you just go to the next hotel and you just do that. Then you visit them every couple of weeks and you just remind them, and you just become that squeaky wheel. And that's how you got to start. You kind of just make things happen, and then we have a great local community that's always kind of supported us in one form or another.
Yeah,
and
like
word
when
gets
you're
out.
sitting out on the lineup and some tourists is like, hey, I want to surf. It looks fun. Is there a place I can rent a surfboard near here? And you go, yeah, right down that way. First Street Surf Shop. Find surfboards there.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
true. It happens like a lot.
It happens like a lot.
Right. So, and there's fun little marketing things that we've done over the years where, it's slow and it's flat, and we let local people just take out paddle boards, and instead of charging them, we let them go out for free because it stokes them out, and it's advertising for me. I call it chumming. I chum the waters like that because they go out there and they paddle around. Someone's going to be like, hey, I want to do that. Where can I do that? And there's nowhere on the beach to do it. So we're that place,
Right
and
here.
it kind of creates it. So, you kind of try to find a way to kind of appease everybody. And, not everything you decide to do is going to garnish you money or revenue right away. But it just adds to it. For us, we're picking up the mallet, we're chipping away at the rock every single day.
It's a long game, kind of.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's not about the establishment as much as it is about the people behind the establishment. And we've had a lot of
listen to this guy.
and we've had a lot of good people that have worked with us, and we've had a lot of people that have worked with us, and we've been
ThankYouSurfing.
there you go, and we've been thankful for that, and I think that's allowed us to get to 10 years, and
It's actually pretty crazy how many people have worked at this shop
right.
through the years, and
Yeah.
they all become like some like weird adopted family friends.
Absolutely.
You're just like, how the hell did like Jovan,
Right.
Brandon, all these guys? These are just the new guys.
Sway, Brian,
Malaka was here.
Yeah, Malaka, Martina. We had a bunch of people that have come through here that have been in the community in one way or another, and I think a lot of that was just kind of based on my past relationship with Quicksilver and working with them, and the Ohana that we built while we were building teams across the country, and
That
I
Ohana is so strong that Brandon will just not come back from Bali.
right. It's true. I mean, at this point, he's like.
I think he just
he's
extended 6 months,
Yeah,
right?
I think so. He was out in Singapore, I think, renewing his visa.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Brandon.
Brand Dog was all like,
Killing it, buddy.
"Hey, boss. So I'm gonna stay a little longer." I'm like, "For sure." I'm like, "Do it." What else are you gonna do in your early 20s? Come back and get to work? Hell no.
No,
he is working
Go
though.
surf.
That's what I did. Don't do that.
He's working. He's probably making a little dough.
Yeah, dude, and he's not
Surfing,
hating
meeting
it.
all
That's
kinds of
for sure.
people.
Yeah.
I don't know
So-
what else you could possibly be doing.
Hopefully it takes him to other journeys. Hopefully it takes him to Australia. Hopefully it takes him to New Zealand.
Although Indo has had some very strong hits lately.
Oh, yeah.
Horrible. I mean, like an earthquake followed by a tsunami.
Followed
I mean, how
by a
much worse?
volcano.
Exactly.
eruption.
how much worse could it get? Like you got all three of the.
Keegan, you need to
worst
stop watching the
disasters.
news. You've been like.
Actually,
the
I don't
harbinger
have
of
cable
all-
at my house.
So where are you getting all this?
Just the internet,
I hear it
bruh.
at school. Like people will be like.
People are talking about the tsunami in Indonesia at
No,
your school.
Actually,
No,
I hear about
Some
this
engaged kids right there.
Yeah, I'm like. Yeah.
Like, from
Have you heard of what
teachers.
happened in Sulawesi?
Well, no, because I have like current
It's like,
events
spell
in
that.
certain classes. and we talk about this.
SULAWESI.
Bing. You are correct.
Thank you, surfing.
make it to the next
Spelling bee
round.
edition.
That would be kind of fun.
Oh yeah, I'm a terrible speller.
Not so bad.
So with names, I'm like improper things, I'm okay.
I mean, we were doing a little exercise the other day where I was on the board writing stuff out, and
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, without spell check, I was okay.
Yeah, you did pretty good. Although we didn't have spell check on, so we can't be sure that we actually spelled it else correctly.
All right, take a picture of it.
Looks
So.
right to me.
We'll go through that. So back to 10 years.
Alright.
First.
10 years at first.
I wanted to get into like maybe some of these stupid kind of interview questions.
Okay.
You're not prepared for these, and I haven't prepared any questions.
Sure.
So let's just try this.
Well, let's
go great.
shuffle an
Sounds
imaginary bunch of cards.
Yes. So we got
First question.
First question.
I like long walks on the beach. I'm a Sagittarius.
When was the first time that you thought to yourself, "Hey, this actually might freaking work"?
Oh, that's so funny. Probably about 2 years ago.
Wow. 8 years into this game, you're like, "Yo, I think we may have gotten over the hump." And actually, you know what?
I think it was more of a personal thing. It wasn't something I really kind of spoke to with Mark.
They say 10,000 hours, right?
I can't remember who it was I was talking to, but it was a moment where we were having an event. You know what? I forgot what event it was, but it was one of those moments where you kind of look around and you look at everybody that's there, and you look at your community, and you look at what you're doing, and you look how much effort you've given up into this point, and that at that point was like, oh, I think I'm getting to that point that I'd hoped I'd always kind of get to at some point, but never knew when that, like, you never know when that point is, and it's sometimes looked at in retrospect, you're like, that was the time
little easier that way.
that was the time, but it was
Hence my interview question.
It was super surreal because I was in the moment as I was thinking it. Like the moment was happening. I wasn't looking at it in retrospect. I was in the moment and the moment was happening. And I was like, oh man, I think this is that moment where I feel like we've done something.
That's pretty awesome to be like,
That is pretty
just that
cool.
kind of turned on to
Right.
your own thinking, surroundings to recognize. Because most people don't, I don't think.
Right.
They just kind of like barge right through it, and
Right.
then they're like, oh, that was good.
Right. Well, I try to stay present within my own life and just, because life can kind of just speed you up a little bit.
For sure.
And sometimes you just, you miss the roses and things are just kind of going by you
It's
so
like
fast.
that Ferris Bueller saying.
Right.
What you know about Ferris Bueller?
Seen the movie a couple times, don't remember the saying.
Well, it's right, but it's true. It's something along those
it is
lines.
the sound
Where it's
smell
just
the
like if you
roses.
don't, life can go by pretty quickly, and if you don't stop.
This is what he's saying to his friend.
Is he saying it like that? Or I thought he was in the shower
Cameron,
when he was saying
Cameron.
that.
He's saying it to
Cameron.
Cameron. He's like Cameron, he's trying to convince him to like take
Ride the Porsche. That's
Take
such
the
a-
day off.
yeah, that's
Take
right.
the day off. And he's like,
No,
actually,
take the day off or take his dad's car.
Yeah. Car.
You're right.
And he's like actually physically sick, and he's like dying in bed. And he's like,
You're not dying. I'm dying.
he's like, you're not dying. Get out of bed.
God, it's such a good movie.
that is good. I'm gonna watch that again.
I've tried to do it with all my friends. Like, swim practice is over. Let's go surfing. And they're like, dude, I'm exhausted. I'm like, no, you're not exhausted. Let's go surfing. And they'll
Yeah,
say,
you guys are kids. You guys
and
are
then
exhausted.
I'll end
punch
up going out on my own. So,
Exhausted.
Who cares?
So yeah, that was that for me was probably a defining moment about 2 years ago where I was just like, I think we got to that point that we were hoping to eventually get to, and obviously there's still bumps. I mean, it's business. The local
way it
economy
goes.
affects you. The national economy affects
That's a
you.
good moment though. You
Yeah.
kind of like sat there at a party and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I did some
and
stuff
I remember
around here, huh?
I remember saying it to someone too, just kind of sitting there and just like and smiling and kind of kicking back and be like, you know what I feel like? I feel like I'm at that point that I wanted to be at, and I'm here. And then all of a sudden, it's an empowering moment because it's. It was a soda can, by the way. the drop. It was an empowering moment where at that point you said, okay, well, we got here. Now what? Now what do we do? And then this is I think where the reality of the responsibility of our local community and what we are to our community kind of start to
You
set
came
in a
in
little bit
heavy
more.
with that for the last little while. It
Right.
came after that.
Right.
This is all starting to make sense now.
Right. So I think at that point, it wasn't so much that you had a store, and it wasn't so much that you were a surf shop, and kind of it was just like, okay, we have a responsibility now to the community to maintain this and to do this, and that's when we start teaming up with Surfrider or anybody else and creating all these different things. It was to fulfill that little void that we've had here for a little while as far as not having that surf culture, community, and shop, and we've been able to kind of tap into for 10 years. And, I sometimes feel like it's only been 10 years, but I feel like we've just kind of started a little bit. And I'm like, all right, well, I got a little more gas in the tank, so let's go ahead and let's
Bing, bang, boom.
yeah, let's keep this thing
I
running
like
a
the
little bit
idea
longer.
of that. It's like, hey, we're only 10 years in. We have so many more years left.
We do. So,
Which-
God willing, and hopefully our community continues to support
I
us.
got more questions.
Oh, let's hear it.
Don't get that ending voice on it. I know you've had some famous celebrity types come through.
Sure.
Any favorite celebrity types that have come through? Any particularly interesting or noteworthy occurrences that have happened with celebrity types? There's the one that I know personally that, I don't really necessarily need to hear the story again, but they might want to hear it. And then there's other ones, I'm sure, that I have no idea about.
We've had anyone anywhere from Donald Sutherland. Would walk. And what's great is about the building that we're attached to, the Continuum, is a high-end residential building, but at the same time they do seasonal or rentals.
And it's a beach community, so
right,
people kind of just come down.
Right. So the people that stay here are from, I've never seen her, but like Oprah has stayed here before. Tom Cruise cruises by here.
I thought Oprah had a place over on Fisher Island.
Maybe she does. Maybe she kicked it here because I don't know.
Yeah, she's gone to the beach for the afternoon.
She's got a couple dollars.
Yeah.
She probably can afford it.
This is her beach pad.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorites that drove through here. Sorry for cutting
chime
guys
on
off.
in.
Ben Gravy has come through here.
Ah, yes.
And he is an absolute legend. He parked right out there. I don't know if you walked in here or not, but he is a legend. He surfed right out here.
You did?
Yeah. So we've had Ben Gravy as far as local surf guys. We've also had Chris Ward come cruise through here.
Yeah.
Chris Ward was here for that Wilma swell.
That's true.
And we had his whole quiver of boards that got shipped here in a box, and we just left it here at the shop.
Really?
And he broke all 5 boards, like on that one day. And so he would come in, grab another board, go back out. Come in, grab another board, go back out. And
I wish I had that life. I break boards all the time.
Do you?
It's not even funny.
Do you really?
Like, yeah, like my
I mean,
board.
you break them at your house because they fall over and they
yes.
break.
So that happens, and like I've snapped boards. I'm only 15. It'll get worse.
Keegan the intern, everyone. Keegan.
It will get worse.
So I mean, but what I think one of my favorites, though, and the story I told you before,
So
is
good.
is easily Chris Cornell. I've always been a big fan of Chris Cornell through Soundgarden, Audioslave, and
All he did for his solo stuff is incredible.
yeah, and it was just on the whim. I walked in and he was walking out, and then kind of
It was a whim that you were coming into your shop.
No, it was a whim that I saw him. I was coming to the shop to check in, and he was walking out doing a paddleboard rental in the summer. And he kind of looked familiar, but didn't. And then I looked at his driver's license because we asked people to leave a driver's license.
I can't believe that he left his driver's
Yeah.
license just like some normal dude. Like,
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, he's like, I guess that's protocol.
I did that with Anthony Curtis. I'm never gonna forget that.
And
Hold his
I
driver's
was like,
license?
no, I was like, okay, I know you from somewhere, and then I just walked the other way,
yeah.
dude. And then 5 seconds after, I turned back, and I'm like, holy shit, that was Anthony Curtis.
Anthony Curtis or Anthony Kiedis?
Kiedis.
Thank you.
Okay, just making sure.
Sorry.
I was like, this might be some new person I don't know.
Kids.
Kids these days.
Kids these days.
No, the most important is like J.O.B., John Florence, Kelly Slater, and what's his name?
Full shred
Felipe
stars.
Toledo.
They're all gonna come through.
I don't know. We'll work on getting them over.
They're gonna be at the party tomorrow.
Sure.
I'll call him.
So
I've
the
got all
Chris
his
Cornell
personal
story
cell
is
phones.
pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Any? All right. Let's see. What else do I got for you?
Who else? Alexandra Lima from Victoria's Secret, right? Alexandra Lima. She's cruised in here and super nice. She lives here locally, and she's done stuff with getting boards and whatnot, and she's so down to earth. She's just so cool and hot.
We had what's her name?
That helps.
Also Lima. That she's
The pro surfer?
Yeah.
Savannah?
Yeah, didn't she come through here?
She might have.
I thought so, yeah. And then also, who's living up in Mid Beach now?
My mom.
No. Not now.
like
She's
that
been
answer.
there. That other pro surfer, she just moved into town.
Oh, that's right. Anastasia Ashley.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she comes through.
Yeah, she does come through. She's super cool as well and super down to earth. Yeah, that's what's great. I feel like people lower their shoulders a little bit when they come down here.
Because they feel like
celebrities,
they're like on vacation.
Right. They're just kind of cruising, and people really don't make a big deal about them.
No,
I think
'cause,
we get so many celebrities.
There's so much
Well,
big
unless-
deals down here always that people can cruise under the radar easily.
We
I
got
think.
Unless,
Jeremy
like, you're a
Shockey here, former football player for the Giants.
yeah.
He lives here in the
No,
building
you mean for the Canes?
for the Canes, and then I think
Yes, he played for the Giants. But
Okay.
most importantly, 2000, 2004 Canes. Go you. Sorry.
Who else?
That was a hell of a team.
Yeah, it was. We've had the Kardashians come around, but not necessarily walked by.
Just not to shred the gnar.
No, they didn't shred no gnar.
I have seen some pictures of them shredding.
Past that, I'm sure there's so many others I just can't even think of right now. And they're probably gonna be so pissed I didn't mention them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So sad.
Definitely.
The Instagram feed ended, and I knew it was gonna happen, so I kept running over and running.
Start over.
Keegs, bro.
Sorry, guys.
This is your job. Come on.
There goes your
So-
internship.
Yeah, there it is.
Not gonna sign that permission slip. All right, so outside of the celebrity things, whatever.
Yes. What else you got for me, Bradley?
Yeah,
Go on. I'm an
gonna
open book.
I'm gonna try to get into this a little bit. What was the strangest occurrence you've had in the shop?
Had a girl pee on the floor.
Wow, that came quick.
Yep, during
There-
Ultra.
Wow, that is incredible.
Sounds about right.
That sounds like I should have
Well,
known better.
there's,
That was I shouldn't even ask that question. I should ask for something even better than that. That's like, oh, Peter, yeah, like how many times?
It was just that time. But we have a little local beach club that's close by called Nikki Beach.
Oh yes.
And all the bathrooms are full, beach, whatever's going nuts. We didn't let people use the bathroom anymore because they kept on clogging it up. And I think Malaka might have been working at the time. And he had said, sorry, you can't use the bathroom. So she just totally dropped trout right there and peed on her floor. And everyone was just like, I think that's kind of weird. And so we ran out and grabbed the chick out and stuff like that. And
Yes.
It won't pin. I need help.
Figure it out. Don't worry about it.
that was kind of weird.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah. What else have we had that's kind of
That
weird,
is
right?
really, really. I mean,
We've had some weird conversations. I really feel like I want to get in touch with GoPro and have those GoPro cameras set up all around the shop because naturally this POS area we kind of created as a little bar area because people come in here and talk.
point of sale.
Point of
people.
sale. That's right. POS, point of sale. Sorry.
Not piece of.
Piece of shit area. This piece of shit area. POS, point of sale area, or the register area, the bar, was built so that people come around and talk story with us and kind of hang out. So we've had some interesting people that come in.
We have had some very funny stories.
It's been a fun little ride since.
Even since we started doing this, before the microphones and the cameras all get set up, a lot of time there's still business going on, and the stories that people tell when they see a microphone and in the back of their head they're like, you guys have microphones, let me tell you a story. And you're like, they're not on, but go ahead and tell us. And they're like, oh, I wish I had the microphone on. Turtle had some really good ones.
Oh, Turtle had a really good
2 or 3 weeks ago, he's like, no, I can't stay. But listen to this story. I was like, oh, we're gonna miss it.
And that's what's great is that surfers are really one of the best storytellers around.
He's not looking for the camera. Mom, get the camera.
Folks, that's Keegan, the producer now.
So let me ask you the last question here. What do you think the next 10 years of First Surf Shop looks like? More of the same, less red tide.
Right, hopefully. It's interesting.
Hoverboards mostly, I was thinking.
I think it'd be about.
Did I stumble?
No, I think it's because the retail industry in general, both
he's got
action
that
sports,
crazy look in
surfing,
his
stuff
eye.
like that, has kind of been going through transition and changes for the
Here we
last
go.
10 years.
Yep.
And
Bring it.
In order to adapt and move forward, you have to be creative, and you have to kind of get outside your comfort zone and be willing to kind of challenge current status quo. And I think moving into the next 10 years, it is about how well you're able to have a finger on your local pulse and how you're able to kind of challenge the status quo and create partnerships moving forward. And collaborative efforts. I think for us, it's about working with other like-minded companies and people and doing things both as activations and events, as well as maybe product mix that you can kind of do.
You haven't thought about this answer or anything, have you?
No.
So in Challenge the Status Quo, you'll become a boogie board shop.
God, no.
I don't like that reaction.
Says no one ever.
Wait,
Aw, man.
sorry, all the boogie boarders.
Yes,
We're not saying in a bad way.
No.
We know a ton of you guys are boogie boarders, and we appreciate you guys, but we're not trying to disrespect you. It's just a surfer joke.
I don't know. There might be a
Keegan the intern's now Keegan the disclaimer.
No, because I have a ton of
disclaimer.
I have a ton of friends that are like boogie boarders, and I make boogie
Listen, I
boarding.
think boogie boarding is great if the wave calls for it. I just
Yes.
find it a little challenging here when it's like mushy and it's small. You're just like, how is that even a thrill? I just feel like you're just
Yeah.
bait.
I proned in a few today, and it was really fun.
I mean, I made a joke about
7-foot
boogie
board
boarding.
on your belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like you're going really fast, and it's double overhead every wave.
The other day, I took like 2 waves sitting down. It was great.
So
It's like honk honk, move over. So
that's what the future has for us.
Right.
Honk honk, move over.
I think just doing fun collaborative stuff.
Sorry, boogie boarder friends.
As there's been a lot of
We
conversation.
just totally blew over one thing that I totally meant to talk about.
What's that?
Was poor
board?
Maui that got hit this week.
Yeah.
So let me just change
Yeah.
topic real quick
Yep.
and then come back in
Yep.
because this is like a kind of a downer. This poor girl surfs out here all the time,
Wait, what's her name?
Maui, and she just got
that's
run over. And you know what? It's an accident. Things happen. You
Right.
know, like I don't want to place blame on anybody. But the poor girl, and so I don't know what to say other than like just watch out for each other. Don't be a dummy. If you're not competent, don't take the wave. If you are fully capable of keeping your board, like stay away from people.
Right.
Wear a leash. Tell people if you're gonna go left or right. I mean,
Right.
it's just
so,
like kind of.
So the responsibility comes on both sides: the person that's catching the wave as well as the person that's paddling out.
And everybody else in the lineup to
Right.
just let each other know what's right and wrong.
It's a matter of awareness, and and when you're a newbie, sometimes it's not second nature.
Of course, it's hard. You're learning.
But as a newbie, if you're catching a wave and you see someone in front of you,
Don't do
if
it.
you don't know what you're gonna do, if you don't know what to do or how to maneuver out of it, just don't catch the wave. Because at the end of the day, this guy caught the wave and stood on his board and kept riding and ran over her. And it's uncalled for.
It's just not worth it.
Another
Yeah.
thing is, guys, there's a GoFundMe to help her out.
Yes.
So we can prevent this, and we can also help what's already happened.
Yeah.
So-
I put a link. It's called
Yeah, there's a-
bit.ly/Maui recovery.
I think
We'll link it in this
I think we'll link it in
description,
the video.
Yeah.
I'll
Done.
think.
Yeah.
Well, the
Absolutely.
point- I mean,
So she's
I'll
going to
find
be
a
out of
link
work
with
for a little
Instagram.
while. She doesn't have insurance. So
And it's a lot of money to get that many stitches.
Right.
Like crazy amounts of money.
And Jovan, that works with us here at the shop, had told me that someone came in here and donated $1,000 to her.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Sick. That's amazing. And
That is
and
amazing.
Whoever that is,
Right.
I don't know if you want the credit or not, but thanks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's-
I wish you the best karma.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that it restores the faith in humanity.
Just
and
that
that
little
we're all
bit.
in this together, and then it's just like,
Gosh.
wow, I really feel bad for this person. So you never know when it could be you.
Yeah,
for
it's the
something
little.
that you need.
It's the little or big things that you do to help other people out that matter.
And again, I think the
Should we just
message
end
is
the episode on that one.
the message is collectively we're all in this together. So let's continue to help each other out
We're a
in the water.
community.
Yeah, whether it be the red tide or a local business or someone who gets run over and needs a little help getting back on their feet because
Or
of
you
an
notice that
accident,
someone's
whatever.
not that skilled in the water, and they could potentially hurt someone.
Help 'em out.
Don't be too cool. Just
Yeah.
give them a heads up. Be like, hey, you know what? You're about to drift into a really packed crowd.
Yeah.
Your best bet is probably to go ahead and go down a little bit more instead of like, hey, kook, get down the beach. I mean, that's the old way of doing it. And some purists that are like, you know what? Maybe it still needs it.
There's a little room for both, I guess.
Right, there is, but nonetheless, definitely, I think awareness and being present in where you're at kind of helps out.
Yeah, I mean, people are like, see something, say something, all about everything else. They see any little weird infraction about anything, they like blow up, and like the whole world knows. So, how about trying that a little bit in the ocean?
Right.
Help
just
a
like,
brother out,
there you
Or
go.
sister.
or sister, or mother, or father, or
homie.
dog,
Right. Dogs
Or cousin.
in the lineup.
Or gender
How about boogie boarders?
neutral human.
or boogie boarder.
There you go. Can't forget them.
Sorry,
So,
guys.
They doesn't fit anywhere else in that matrix.
No, it
Boogie
was
boarders
like-
an
I was-
island outside that.
I was in class
You're gonna get
one
such hate
day.
mail.
I like the boogies. I'm a
Yeah.
big boogie proponent.
I was in class one day and I made a boogie boarder joke with one of the friends I surf with, not realizing another friend I surf with boogie boards. And he got super bummed, and I was like, oh, crap, man. I didn't know you boogie boarded. I'm sorry about that.
I'll try to keep those comments to a minimum around you.
Right. He's like,
Right.
if I'd known you were there, I wouldn't have said it. But if you walk out of the room, I'd say it again.
Boogie jokes are still funny.
Yes, they're hilarious.
I think we're done here.
Yeah, let's do it. You know what?
Keegan.
Swing by tomorrow. Let's fucking party.
Whoa, language.
Yeah.
for the
I dropped the
kids.
F. You know, it's late. If you have your kids still up listening to us, sweet. Sweet.
Yeah. Episode 37, Talk Story, in the books.
In the books.
October 4th.
By the way, that's Lexi. She just sat there like the whole entire show, and we didn't introduce her. So,
Oh, you're on film and everything?
We can see the back of her head.
yeah.
Good.
You're welcome. For the
Wonderful,
back of my head.
wonderful audience.
She's like, thanks, Keegan. I was trying to keep it low.
Yeah, I was like, she was like, before the show started, she was, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
I think she's still
And
like
I was
that.
like, yeah, and she's still like that. And I was like, it's going to happen.
Walk us out of here, Bradley.
Episode 37, October 4th. Talk Story here from First Shop. Miami Beach, South Beach, Florida, USA, some other planet.
Let's party.
Mañana.
Tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time. Peace.